From the moment he entered the league, Fernando Tatis Jr. became arguably the coolest player in baseball. He was fun, he was flashy, he always seemed to have a smile on his face, and oh yeah, he was damn good too. 2019 featured Tatis playing just over half of the Padres games, enough to qualify for a rookie, and he balled out, hitting .317 with a .969 OPS, swatting 22 home runs, and finishing third in National League Rookie of the Year voting. This dude just immediately seemed for real, and he only continued that success the next year during the shortened pandemic-affected season. And 2020 is when he became more mainstream and caught the eye of everyone around baseball, not mostly just Padres fans. He just continued to show that he couldn't give a rat's ass about anyone's unwritten rules of the game, flipped his bat, watched his home runs, hit grand slams on 3-0 counts, and getting opposing teams mad in the process. I mean, this dude was the future, and the Padres sure as hell believed it, signing him to a 14-year contract extension worth $340 million, which actually many people believe wasn't a good deal for Tatis and that he could have potentially gotten more money if he waited, but he and his agent decided to take the guaranteed money now to stay in San Diego long term, and it instantly paid off for the Padres. In 2021, Tatis' first full season with the Padres, he hit .282 with a .975 OPS in 130 games, hitting the most home runs in the National League with 42, stole 25 bases, got named to his first All-Star team, won a Silver Slugger Award, while finishing third in National League MVP votes. Tatis was great. The Padres as a team, on the other hand, not great. A letdown, with things even getting so boiled over to the point where Tatis got into a heated verbal argument with his own teammate Manny Machado in front of everyone to see. In the video, Manny could be heard yelling, "It's not about you," to Tatis, of course implying that Fernando was being selfish with the way he was going about things. They ended up being fine with one another, but like I said, they missed out on October in disappointing fashion. And little did anyone know, but Fernando Tatis Jr. was about to not play a single game for the Padres in 2022. If you're part of the 70% of viewers not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and join the wonderful subscribers of the channel, as it started with a wrist injury that would come to light at spring training. In December of 2021, Tatis has gotten in a bike accident back home in the Dominican Republic, with reports saying he was fine, just a few scratches here and there. But in spring training, he of course was not actually fine, and when asked when his motorcycle accident occurred, Tatis literally asked back at the reporter which one, which obviously shows he was being too careless. Surgery happened to fix the wrist. He was expected to miss the first 3 months. 3 months turned into like 4 months before it was announced that Fernando Tatis Jr. had been suspended 80 games after testing positive for Clostebol, an anabolic steroid, and 2 weeks after that, Adidas dropped Tatis' partnership with the company. Tatis' story was that he used it to help cure his ringworm, and he had no idea it was illegal. Even if that were true, you obviously gotta go through team doctors to decide what's allowed and what isn't allowed by the league. And if it's a lie and he knew it was illegal trying to get away with it, that's bad too, for obvious reasons. So again, with that, Tatis didn't play a single second for San Diego in 2022, but surprisingly enough, the Padres made the playoffs anyway. In fact, they even went a step further and did something the franchise hadn't done in 24 years, which is make it to the NLCS, taking down the rival 111-win Dodgers in the process. So that's strike 1 and 2 for Tatis, showing that he was making poor decisions, something that just wasn't the best look for a franchise player. But yeah, people still gave him shit for it when he came back, but most moved on and realized the substance Tatis used wasn't your typical steroid that can help enhance your numbers and skill. It wasn't Barry Bonds steroids or anything like that. And in his first return to the field since 2021, Tatis immediately started to ball out again. He started off alright in his first 35 games or so, and then had a monster month of June, hitting .318 with an OPS right below 1,000, connecting for 6 home runs, 12 doubles. I mean, he was great now as the team's starting right fielder rather than at shortstop. July was a big step down from June for Tatis. He'd follow that up with an even worse month of August, and he hasn't had a great start to the final month of the season. A season which will not feature the Padres going back to October, shockingly. A very underperforming team of players, which includes Fernando Tatis Jr. Although he actually has had a good year overall, it's most definitely a step down from years past. Do I think he's screwed now and won't be on an MVP level ever again? No, not at all. I think he'll be fine, but that's not what the concern is here. The concern is how Tatis is off the field. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into Tatis' personal life because that's obviously not any of our business, and with that, let's get right into Tatis' personal life. Nah, I'm just kidding, but there are things that have come out over the last several months that make things a little more complicated. Without getting into too much of the specifics or drama, because it doesn't really matter who these women are and the drama that they've been having with Tatis' family is, But the bottom line is that Fernando Tatis Jr. has undoubtedly made some very reckless decisions off the field. I already talked about the multiple motorcycle accidents and PED suspension, but to add on to that, Tatis is a father of 3 kids and soon to be 5 kids. Now, there's no issue with having kids, obviously, anyone can have as many kids as they want, but the problem is that when you look a little further, it's clear Tatis has been incredibly reckless. Tatis has 3 baby mamas, meaning he has gotten 3 different women pregnant that's resulted in 3 kids, and 2 of them are apparently currently pregnant with 1 more each. Okay, again, having kids is nothing bad, and hell, having kids with a bunch of different women isn't against the law, but I have a hard time believing this is exactly what Tatis wanted, especially considering when one of the women has talked about him never being there for the kid, while also claiming that Tatis and his family is denying it is his kid. So obviously Tatis has been messing around, another thing that's totally legal and not against the law. You do you. But when you start to get multiple women pregnant and become a father of 5 between 3 women at the age of just 24 years old, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize how dumb that is for Tatis. Clearly something he never planned on, and he's just being careless. You gotta wonder how a lot of his teammates feel about him, if he's lost respect in the clubhouse because of all these poor, immature off-the-field decisions over the years. An argument one might come up with is that the common denominator between 2021 and this season, 2023, 2 years that featured massive busts of a season for a team that was supposed to be great, is Tatis. And when the Padres went to the playoffs, beat the Dodgers, and made it to the NLCS for the first time in 24 years, Tatis wasn't there. Coincidence? Yeah, I do think it's a coincidence. Look, at the end of the day, it's hard to imagine Tatis being on last year's Padres team would have prevented them from being as successful as they were. It's not his fault they missed out on the postseason in 2021. He was top 3 in MVP votes. And even this season, which has been an overall step down from previous years, he's still been a good hitter and overall player. So as far as that goes, I don't know if it's fair to necessarily say Tatis is bringing this team down on the field. But everything that's been going on with him could very well eventually cause some issues, if they aren't already. At the very least, the 5 kids with 3 women at age 24 thing just continues the pattern of reckless and dumb, careless decisions being made by the man. There was also a recent incident with Tatis where he was allegedly a total douchebag at a charity event at a children's hospital, apparently being over-the-top rude to a parent of a kid who has cancer. Now, I don't know all the details or what exactly happened, but that's yet another story that's gone around. Look, the point is, do I believe Fernando Tatis Jr. can't recover from all this and is going to be a total bust for the Padres and really hurt his image? Not at all. I think he has the potential to be a Hall of Fame caliber player who's beloved for years to come in San Diego. I still believe in him, but you cannot deny that there's at least some concern on how this is all going to turn out. I still like him. I think he's fun to watch, brings good energy, and is obviously talented, but there has undoubtedly been a trend of just dumb behavior by Tatis. It's not like he's abusing women, becoming an addict on something, or getting into some serious trouble with the law. These are more so things that show Tatis might not be someone the Padres can trust as their guy moving forward. I wouldn't give up on him now, but I also think it would be dumb to think he doesn't need to change anything about the way he currently is or the way he lives right now and doesn't need to mature and grow up. He most certainly needs to do that and start making some smarter life decisions. Life decisions that don't end up potentially affecting the Padres clubhouse and overall franchise. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.